record this video on my phone. Just because I think I got, before I can go live on Facebook, I think I have a couple more days. Today's 24. December the 2nd will be 60 days when I can go live again on Facebook. My account will be 60 days old at that point. And that's when I'm really going to start telling my story. But, man, I have to be honest with you. I really have a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on Spartanburg County Jail and Kirkland R&E. I was arrested on a bogus charge. They tried to charge me with trafficking methamphetamine when methamphetamine isn't against the law. Okay, you get to Kirkland, you get to Spartanburg County Jail, and you find out that methamphetamine is freely given to all inmates at the jail, and also when you get over to the prison system, the police give methamphetamine to all of the inmates freely, just as much as they want. They're able to go in on the kiosks and stuff like that and order methamphetamine. They're able to order pins to shoot methamphetamine, pins or needles that they all use to shoot methamphetamine. And in the prison system and the jail system and stuff like that, it's freely given. It isn't against the law. So what they charged me with, they can't charge me with. Okay, they illegally charged me with something that isn't against the fucking law. But what they use methamphetamine for is to entrap men. Okay? And what I mean by men are legitimate men that was born into this world with a pair of balls between their legs. Okay? What you have to understand is, at the very least, 85% of what you think are men in this world aren't men. They're fucking nay-nays. They've transformed from men into women and from women into men, vice versa. And that's what they force you into doing when you go to jail or prison. Okay? Now, in the event that you don't want to be a faggot and that you don't want to transform from male to female, from black to white, what they're doing is regening these motherfuckers. They're injecting DNA from a black man or a black woman into your body, and they're transforming these motherfuckers into black women or black men. Vice versa, they're injecting women's hormones into the men and injecting men's hormones into the women, and causing complete transformation. Okay, upon you completing the transformation, they'll give you a new identity, they'll give you a new name, and they'll release you, and you can go out and do whatever the fuck they want you to goddamn do. Basically, at that point, you're working. Okay? But they're going to try to force you into regeneration. They call that regeneration. You're regening. Okay? You're taking the genes from somebody else, putting them in your body, and you're transforming into that individual. Is what they're doing. Okay? Now, in the event that you don't want to do that, they're going to wage war on your fucking health. And they're going to try to murder your ass. And they do so by way of food. And all these jails and prisons have different features and shit to where these working ICs can goddamn use their words and different things to, okay, they have in-cell features where these motherfuckers can gas you to sleep inside of your cell. So what happens is they release this fucking odorless gas into the fucking cell, and it puts your ass to sleep like that. Now, once they have gassed you to sleep, these motherfuckers can stick you with needles and shit and inject you with different hormones, estrogen, and different things. They can stick you, they can give you HIV, they can give you AIDS. There's a lot of things that they can do to you inside of these cells. And if you are a legitimate man, they will do these things to you inside of these fucking cells. Okay? Now, they've been getting away with this because your average motherfucker is scared to say anything about it. Okay? And 99% of the real men in this world have been fucking murdered or transformed into a fucking faggot by way of being incarcerated in jail or in prison. Okay? The first thing you're going to find out when you get to jail and prison is that they try to force you to worship LL. Okay? LL is Bill Gates. Bill Gates is LL. Okay? That is the biblical Antichrist. That is Satan incarnated in flesh. That is the devil incarnated in flesh, according to the Bible. Bill Gates is LL. Okay? And then you're going to find out that these motherfuckers are also bowing down to the Emmy and the Ann, and some of them belong to Mark Zuckerberg. But most of them belong to Bill and Emma. Okay? And these motherfuckers bow down and worship these motherfuckers. Literally, worship them. The police are told what to do by Bill and Emma. Okay? They do what the fuck these motherfuckers say. Okay? And you'll find that out when you go to jail and prison. You'll find out who the I is. Well, who is the I? Who is the I? That little triangle with the I in it, who is the I? Okay? Well, that depends upon where you're at. Okay? For example, when I was in Spartanburg County Jail, there's a lady by the name of Ann that was the goddamn I. Okay? When I got over into Kirkland R&E, that's Bill's set up there. Kirkland is all Bill shit. So Bill is the fucking I in Kirkland. Okay? And it just, like I said, it just depends on where you're at. Some locations, Emma is the fucking I. Some locations, Ann is the fucking I. Whoever the fuck Ann is. Ann is short for Annabelle. Okay? Some places, the police are the fucking I. And other places, Emma's ass is the I. So you got Ann, the police, and Bill. Okay? Some places, Mark is the I. So who the I is just depends on where the fuck you're at. Okay? Mark has his places where he's the fucking I. Emma has her places where she's the goddamn I. Bill has his places where he's the fucking I. It just depends on where you're fucking at as to who the I is. Okay? Just know that. Nobody's gonna teach you this but me. Nobody's gonna tell you this but me. Okay? The I, who the I is, 90%, always depends on where you're at. Emma has her fucking places that she's over. Bill has his places that he runs. Mark has his places that he runs. And goddamn Ann has her places that she runs. Okay? So the I just depends on where the fuck you're at. Okay? And I got some paperwork back there where I can validate that. And I'm going to show y'all that tonight. But as soon as you get to jail, the first thing you find out is they try to force you into worshiping LL. Okay? LL is Emma's God. LL is Mark's God. LL is Ann's God. Okay? Bill is all of these motherfuckers' God. Bill is their God. Okay? Bill is the God, is the law enforcement's God. They bow down to LL. They enforce LL's rules. Okay? Understand that. LL is their God. Everybody else revolves around LL. Okay? But LL is hell's God. You have to understand that. And like I said, I got a book back here that validates all of this. Okay? So all of this shit I'm talking about revolves around one man. That is LL. That is Bill Gates. That is the biblical Antichrist. That is Satan, and that's the devil incarnated in flesh. That is the truth. Okay? I ain't preaching, I'm just telling the truth. Now, so what happened to me when I got to jail? Okay, the first thing you're going to find out is if you're a legitimate man, such as myself, you have a real pair of balls between your legs, you was born with those balls, you are a real fucking man. The first thing you need to know is every fucking body that you're in jail with, they're not real men, okay? These are working ICs, okay? There's no such thing as a legitimate inmate, okay, other than myself. They're all working convicts. What a convict is, all right, let's look at how that's spelled. C-O-N-V-I-C-T. You see the I-C in that? Okay, so when somebody says they're a convict, that means they're a working IC. They work for the police, okay? That's what a IC is. They work for law enforcement, okay? So, with that said, all inmates, when you go to jail, are going to be working ICs, okay? Number two, if you are in a man's facility, all of the convicts there are going to be nays. They're going to be transgender fucking men, okay? And in the event that they find out that you are a legitimate, real fucking man, they are going to wage fucking war on you, okay? They're going to stick you with needles. They're going to put and look, the police train these motherfuckers and give these motherfuckers to the weapons to fucking target and murder men. Only men. Only real men. The police give these motherfuckers the technology, the phones, the computers, the fucking food, the needles, every goddamn thing to target and murder real fucking men. And they do it, and they train these motherfuckers right here inside of these jails and these goddamn prisons across this country. It's where they train these fucking cowards in. What do you think RAIN is? What is RAIN? What is RAIN? What are they? They have transformed from male to female, vice versa, from female to male. Okay? That's what RAIN is. Okay? They transformed from black to white, vice versa. That's through goddamn DNA and stuff, being injecting DNA. You can take it orally. I mean, you can take DNA orally. You can goddamn receive injections. However you want to go about your transformation, you can do so. Okay? They also offer clinics and different things like that. They offer different resources for these motherfuckers to use when they get out on the streets. Okay? Regening clinics and all that. They got all that. Okay? But in the event that you tell them, fuck you, I'm not doing that. I'm proud of who I am. I'm a goddamn man. I'm going to stay a man. These motherfuckers are going to do everything within their power to fucking murder you. By way of food and different things like that. There has been so many men murdered. And what happens is, they'll lock you up in jail and prison. They will feed you shit. And they will stick you with needles that causes cirrhosis of the liver and colon cancer. And then, once you have cirrhosis of the liver and colon cancer, they will release you. And they will rule your death natural fucking causes. When in fact, they murdered your goddamn ass inside of jails and prisons. And they are trained, and they train these motherfuckers to do that. Okay, I want to give you a good example. What is culinary arts? It isn't culinary, it's culinary. It's culinary arts is where they train these motherfuckers in the art of targeting your goddamn colon, your liver, and your kidneys with fucking food. Yeah, with fucking food, bro. They train these coward motherfuckers to murder with fucking food, bro. Oh, yeah. And these jails and these prisons in this country are ground zero, where they start training these motherfuckers to murder and kill fucking men. When you go to prison, they're going to give you an option to program out. Okay, now they have different programs, granted, but all of their programs, every fucking program they have, revolves around entrapping men with methamphetamine and killing and targeting fucking men. Only men. Only men. Only white men. I'll do you one better than that. Only white men with blue eyes. Only white men with blue eyes. So-called ARCs. Yeah. Only white men with blue eyes. You're gonna find that the fuck out. Just know that. So don't ever think for a second, if you are a white male with blue eyes and you was born into this world, a male, don't ever think for 1 second that the police are on your side. The police train these sick motherfuckers. Okay, let me do you one better than that. You know all the police in this world are fucking nay-nays? Yeah, they're all nay-nays. Every goddamn one of them. There is no motherfucking legitimate male cop in the whole goddamn United States. None. They're all fucking nay-nays. Every goddamn one of them. They look like men. Them ain't fucking men. I just left Spartanburg County Jail. Every goddamn deputy, every correctional officer in Spartanburg County is a fucking female transformed into a goddamn man. Every fucking one of them. Every one of them. Just to show you that they are targeting legitimate men and trying to kill them. They're all goddamn nay-nays. What do I have to lie about? What the fuck do I have to lie about? So you know that if they're all fucking nay-nays, like I'm saying, then they are doing exactly what the fuck I said, right? You better goddamn believe it. Every fucking one of them are females. Go to Spartanburg County Jail and check me out. You're gonna be like, damn, that dude's right. Every fucking one of them are nay-nays. There are no men deputies in Spartanburg. None. None whatsoever. They're all fucking nay-nays. All of them. And God forbid you go to jail there as a man. You had a bad fucking day, bro. You have had a bad goddamn day if you go to jail in Spartanburg and you're a fucking man. They gonna kill your fucking ass. They're gonna do every goddamn thing in their power to target and fucking murder you, bro. Yes, sir. I love you guys. I'm gonna leave you with that. I got some evidence. I'm gonna sit down tonight and I'm gonna show you guys exactly. I'm gonna prove to you guys every word that just came out of my mouth is the fucking truth. All right, I got you one better than that. They arrested me on a penal code called Penal Code Ann. What the fuck is Penal Code Ann? What is an Ann? Ann is a goddamn nay-nay. Who is Ann? Who the fuck is Ann? And what does it mean if they arrest a man on a goddamn Penal Code Ann? That means they're forcing you to transform into a fucking nay-nay. Okay? They arrested me and they charged me with Code Ann. Okay? Because I refused to transform into a goddamn nay-nay. Okay? That's what Code Ann is. Okay? So basically, the minute I was arrested, they told me that I had an option. I could transform into a goddamn woman or else. And I said, else. I'm picking else. Fuck you. And they even took my paperwork and they're like, but you see right here where it says Code Ann. I was like, yeah, I do goddamn see that. But I'm not transforming into no Ann. I was a man when I came in this motherfucker. I'll be a man when I walk out this motherfucker. Period, bro. But I'm going to show y'all tonight on my paperwork. They arrested me under goddamn Code Ann. And when they do that, that's them telling you that you're going to transform into a goddamn woman. I ain't transforming into no woman. You kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck about the bill. I don't give a fuck about 12. I don't give a fuck about Ann. I don't give a fuck about Emma. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm not transforming into no woman. You can kiss my ass. Period. I love you guys. But I'm gonna, tonight when I stop, I'm gonna get out all my paperwork and I'm gonna prove that every word that is coming out of my mouth is the truth. 100% truth. Love you guys.